Hello, hello, check, check. It says I'm live. Oh, I just want to curse so many stressors. My uh my crown broke yesterday, so I have to go in today to get it redone. It was just the temporary crown that broke, but still, that's why I had to come on my live early and then everything had to go wrong. So here I am. I'm in a huge hurry. I do not like being in a hurry. That's when I make all my mistakes. Let's just talk about some of the shenanigans. I'm sure everybody has heard by now about uh, former President Biden's cancer diagnosis. And it's extremely sad. I think there is a lot of hope because they said that it's like hormone sensitive, responsive to hormones. So they can manage it. Hey, Annabes, what's going on? Nice to see you. I can only be on for about half an hour because I have to go get my tooth redone. The darn thing broke yesterday. The temporary, what do you call it? Temporary crown. So very annoying. Fortunately, I'm not in too much pain, but it is a little sensitive. So I wanted to go ahead and come on, even though I'm super tight for time. I wanted to talk about this Trump derangement syndrome. So, the worst thing imaginable, in my opinion, is Biden coming out and announcing about his cancer diagnosis. And then immediately, almost immediately, Don Jr. putting up a post um, inquiring if this is some kind of cover up. He's just going to burn in HE double hockey sticks, right? However, in the meantime, it's called showing your arse. Plus, the projection and confession of every single accusation. Let me run down my stuff real quick. Please make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed. And if you're not, please just hit that button. Hit your like button while you're at it. And share a video of mine with somebody that you think will like it. Turn on your notification bell to ring. If you haven't hit your like button yet, then do it now. And what else? Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform, infotainment platform, I mean, correction. And I'm just so happy to see you here this morning, Annabes. How was your weekend and how are you doing? I'll give you a second to respond while I glance at my notes here. The Trump derangement syndrome. I think the person who has that the worst is the person that it's named after. Oh, I'm so glad that your weekend was great. And I still have my cursor. So I'm going to highlight your comment. And so we had a car bomb go off over the weekend. And then we had a Mexican Navy ship crash into a bridge in New York. So the car bomb was in front of a fertility treatment clinic. Was that in like Arizona? Can you say distraction, Annabes? I'm really curious what your impression is because my impression is like, oh, look, coast to coast. We got a car bomb close to the West Coast and we got another ship crashing into a bridge on the East Coast. It seemed like they were pretty simultaneous. Like, weren't they just within a couple hours of each other? And we just hadn't had enough boat crashes lately and not enough car bombs lately. Has there been car bombs in our country since the Trump Tower in Vegas? I don't understand why they would cover up Biden's cancer. Right wing is very stupid. Well, Anna B's, I don't want to think for them and try to like sane wash it. But I did think of something, and it's like the only thing they could possibly be referring to, although this is probably not it, is like if they're trying to cover up that he has Alzheimer's or something like that. When again, I think that the pot is calling the kettle black. I think that derangement syndrome Donnie has dementia, potentially Alzheimer's. His father had it. His freaking son has it, obviously, or he wouldn't be putting up a post like that. So that's the only logical thing I can think, is that saying cancer to try to hide Alzheimer's. When, if that's the situation, just say it. Everybody's got medical issues. You don't have to pretend that these very elderly gentlemen are not very elderly gentlemen. It's okay. But hiding it and lying about it, not okay. And by the way, Joe Biden isn't an MD. I know Anna Bees, and we all know that. We know that she's got a doctorate in something, but she's no medical doctor. And that is referring to Don Jr.'s post about, like, oh, how could she have missed this? First of all, have you been on the planet for more than a minute, Donnie boy? Because it's easy to miss certain cancer diagnoses, even if you are a medical doctor and even if you're doing testing. There are some cancers that just hide and you don't find out about them until they're right on top of you. So, yeah, the fact that his wife without a medical degree didn't catch it. I mean, it's not like she's a dog with that, olfactory censoring. Dogs can smell it. Some dogs can smell cancer. She has a doctorate in education. Thank you, Anna Bees. I couldn't remember what it was. Exactly. Exactamundo. And yeah, I mean, again, as if Jill and Joe are not devastated enough already with him having to fight for his life against this cancer diagnosis, why don't you just pile it on? Like, people like him are where I came up with my little saying is, just when you think it can't possibly get any worse, in comes Donnie Derangement Jr. Just like with Sandy Hook, when these people lost their little freaking toddlers in first grade, slaughtered with a, it's so hard to even talk about it. Like, let's just downgrade it. Those firearms, like the one that was used at Sandy Hook and the ones that are used for these mass shootings, they do not put holes into people the way a typical firearm does. They shred. So, trigger warning, those firearms that are used in these school shootings shred through. They don't show any of that. They give us the super sterilized version of what happened. So these people who already had to deal with their little 6-year-olds in that situation, the loss of life, and then for the ones that didn't lose their lives, that lost limbs or that have PTSD forever, and then in comes Alex Jones. Like I said, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it can get a lot worse with these morons. Boob tube, what's up? Joe couldn't have caught it. His primary physician should have caught it with his PSA score. Are you a nurse or medical professional, boob tube? Because I don't even know what a PSA score is. And I work in the medical field. But yeah, primary care physicians can't always catch certain things if they're not testing for that certain thing. So yeah, I don't know enough about it. So BoobTube says, my mother is a retired NP. Awesome. Yeah, nurses are freaking brilliant. That's nice to know that you were raised by a brilliant nurse. And then Anna Bees is a brilliant nurse as well. So we've got lots of education here. So lovely to see you. I'm going to have to power through the things that I wanted to say. And I had a bunch of notes prior to that diagnosis yesterday, and then prior to derangement Donnie Jr. coming out and making his attack and just screwing with the already fragile state of the Biden family and of America too. I mean, I don't think there's a person alive who's not like, WTF, Donnie Derangement Jr. Are you jonesing for another hit of your snow, your powder? I mean, what in the F would make you say that? What, maybe your dad made you say it? I don't know. I do not know. So yeah, the terrorist attack against the IVF clinic, like, it reminds me of this whole thing with the fake genocide in South Africa. Like the IVF clinics, oh, we're getting attacked too. It's not just the abortion clinics. They're after us. They're out to get us. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. What I'm saying is I think it's staged, especially the timing of that with the Mexican Navy ship running into that bridge in New York. And I guess 2 people aboard the ship lost their lives. I don't know if there's any terrible injuries, but there are so many things that I wanted to talk about today, mainly Virginia Giuffre and how I think that she is the undoing of Trumpster fire. I think that her unaliving a couple of weeks prior to Diddy's trial beginning was no coincidence. I think that Trumpster fire, Donnie Derangement, was pooping out bricks, knowing that the Diddy trial is coming. He was tight with Diddy, just like he was tight with Jeffrey, just like he was tight with Weinstein. These douchebags all hung out together. And we know the only thing that these douchebags are interested in, other than money, is that they're freaking pervs. So it's my opinion that Donnie was freaking out about the Diddy trial starting. Also freaking out about Maxwell trying to get a meeting with him. You know, she wants to ask for immunity, ask for a presidential pardon. And if he doesn't give it to her, she could probably destroy him in the blink of an eye with the information that she has. And if he does give it to her, that'll probably destroy him in the blink of an eye too, because people are up in arms about the trafficking, specifically the trafficking of people underage. Trafficking is bad enough, but with the minors is unreal. So I don't think anybody's going to have any forgiveness in their heart for Donnie Derangement if he was involved in any of that. And I believe that he was. I believe that that's why the Epstein files have been 86'd. And should we talk about the freaking 86 thing for a second? 8647, okay? The little shell formation that James Comey posted and then took down the photograph of that. Okay, we all know 86 means like jettison. I've never heard it to mean assassinate, but let's just say that it does. Let's just say that there's some people that that's what it means to them. There are many MAGA folks with photographs on their social media of themselves wearing t-shirts that say 8646. So were they calling for the assassination of Biden? Is that what that was? Because if you're going to go to Comey's home and you're going to investigate him and you're going to do any of that, you need to do that for every single person who has anything that says 8646. But we all know that that's not what it means. It doesn't mean wipe somebody off the planet. It means toss them aside, kick them to the curb. How about that? That's a good phrase. Just kick them to the curb. Anna Bees is a smart cookie. Thank you, BT. I can't believe people can't see who is all on that list. It's been unredacted for a long time. Well, and it's just so freaking obvious. Is it so obvious, but it's so in your face, hiding in plain sight. It's unreal. So I think that the Diddy trial coming up, I think that Ghislaine Maxwell and I think Virginia Giuffre, so trifecta. I think that Donnie Derangement, Trumpster Fire, is pretty much having a nervous breakdown, which would explain him riling against Bruce Springsteen for having an opinion and stating it, riling against Taylor Swift again, unprovoked. Nothing new happened with her. He put up that post, anybody notice that she's not hot ever since I said that I hate her, basically, I'm paraphrasing. Have you looked at her lately? I think she's still hot. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan, but she hasn't lost a single degree of the hotness, I don't think, from where I sit or where I stand. However, when he was doing that over the weekend with Springsteen and Swift, I was like, man, this guy thinks he's a freaking rock star. This El Presidente has delusions of grandeur. He thinks he's a rock star, thinks that he can dictate who the rock stars are. And that was before he posted that picture of himself that I used in the thumbnail. OMG, with his long blonde hair and his white pants and his United States of America flag garb, not to mention the hottie in the background dancing, the backup dancer. He's a metalhead. Wow. He puts that up on his own social media account. Unbelievable. So before I saw that, I was already knowing that that was how he sees himself. And then there was the whole thing, I've been on this Giuffre and Diddy and Trumpster Fire trifecta Weinstein Prince Andrew crap for a while, as you guys know, because you're regulars. I've been on it for a few weeks. Then yesterday, Kash Patel and that weirdo, what is his name? Chris Bonagino or something like that. Bonono. He's like the Bonono monkey, gorilla, Bonongo. The social media guy that is Cash's assistant, basically, for the director of the FBI. So the assistant director of the FBI. Those two coming out in an interview with complete Trumpster Fire derangement syndrome. You can see it in their eyes, especially Cash. I mean, you can always see it in his eyes. And talking about how Epstein did this to himself. Again, it's not even that relevant whether he did it to himself or not. In my opinion, the rest of the case is still the rest of the case. So, not to mention that both of them have come out on many previous occasions stating that their opinion is quite the opposite, that they think that he was offed. And the evidence, I believe, suggests that. So for them to be coming out yesterday with this opinion about little E having done that to himself, like, why are you coming out with that on a Sunday? What? I'm telling you, every weekend, like every Thursday and Friday, I think to myself, oh crap, what kind of crazy bullshit is going to happen this weekend? So this weekend, I think we had the fertility clinic explosion. We had the ship crashing, and then we have Kash Patel and the Bonono or whatever the guy's name is. Isn't it Chris, the guy that was interviewing with Cash to say that Epstein self-unalived? Like, why are you saying that today? What does that have to do with anything? And why are you interviewing on a Sunday? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And Mrs. Amir is here. It's diabolical. Yes, I'm going to highlight that one. Mrs. Amir. So I spoke with my friend about going to South Africa and taking that package to drop it in the mail to you. And she informed me about how South Africa doesn't really do mail the way we do mail. But is there a way that she can just drop it in the mail to you with that address? I have it right over there. I can see it, but I'm not going to bring it over here because I don't want to take a chance of showing the address. But I didn't know that. We just take for granted our United States where we're so spoiled, right? And let's see. To 86 is to deep six. Exactly. It's just to thank you, BoobTube. That is perfect. To deep six. It's just to hide something. It's just to bury it. Not like burying it under the ground. It's more like burying it under the water. Isn't it like a reference for like submarines or something like that? When I was growing up, 86 meant getting thrown out, and that's still what it means. Like getting 86'd from a bar. Exactly. Or when you 86 something from a restaurant, like food that's gone bad, you 86 it. Why does Cash always look like he's gonna shit racers? Those eyes. So one of my favorite descriptions of his freaking bugged out eyes are that he's looking like he just sat on his balls. I can't get that one out of my head. But yeah, he is so freaking bug-eyed. And I don't know if he has a wandering eye or a lazy eye. But that brings me to the thing that I've been mentioning in the last couple of videos about Trumpster fire derangement Donnie's eyes and his right eye that is always at half mast and the left eye that's like bug-eyed. And little Trumpster fire derangement Donnie Jr. has the same thing going. So maybe it's just genetics. I don't know. I mean, I've been wondering if it's some kind of medical thing, maybe even a tick, when you're under a lot of stress because you're afraid that you're going to get discovered for all the insanity that you've been the center of. Oh, the madness. Cash and Bondi have much to answer to. They won't release the ledgers that Allie Carter gave them full permission to release. I posted up her post from her YouTube channel. She's disgusted. Oh, I have to check that out, BoobTube. Thank you. Let's see. So, and excuse me, I think I have a piece of celery string in my tooth. And rather pretend that it's not there and hope that you don't see it. I'm just going to deal with it because, why hide? I mean, that's what's so funny is that I think our first instinct whenever something is happening that we're not planning is to try to cover it up. And it's like, you guys don't care if I have celery string stuck in my tooth. I care because it's bothering me. It was, but I got it. But, it's a good opportunity to prove to you guys that I eat my veggies, right? I had carrots and celery for breakfast. I had carrots with cream cheese and ranch dressing mixed together, and then celery with peanut butter. So I'm like all healthy with my protein and with my fats and with my veggies already. And it's only just noon, 12:12. So not to brag or anything, but just to explain why I had the celery string in my teeth so early in the day. And yeah, these darn teeth. Yes, 86 definitely is a water reference in some military circles. Oh, wait till you see the SAR image I posted up. Well, can I just look at it right now while I'm on live? I was so proud of myself the other day when I forgot what I was talking about in my live and I watched my live on my live to figure it out. That was crafty. That was brazen. That was a science experiment. So let's see. go to YouTube, turn down the volume, and look up BoobTube. And see what happens. See how shadow banned you are. See, because it's like you can't even get to, nothing comes up for your channel, BoobTube. I think I have to do BoobTube Kylie Rodney. I think that's what I usually do to find any of the channels that are shadow banned. That's what I would do with my own. That's what I do with Ara's. And that's what I do with you. So, but again, it's not even pulling you up now. OMG. How do I get to your channel? That is insane. Okay. Thank you. Let's try that. If that doesn't do it, okay, that did it. Phew, thanks. I knew that. And so we've got the videos, and is there another place where you post? Because I don't see any community posts. I just see the videos and the shorts. Is it a short? See what you say. What say you? What say you? The SAR, the satanic. Is that what the SAR is? Satanic abuse ritual? I mean, Titanic. A lot of things are starting to make sense. Can't wait, BT. You're still beautiful, even if you have celery in your teeth. Oh, I love you, my dear. I'm really proud of myself for eating my veggies lately because it's challenging. It is challenging. And a lot of times I drink them. I would make like salad smoothies and just make sure that I would drink all my veggies. But I think it's important to actually munch them up too with teeth. If your teeth are working. Sure, but I don't want to derail your theme here. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm only going to be able to stay on for like 5 more minutes. Community posts. But it doesn't say that there are community posts for your channel, my dear. It says home, videos, shorts, playlist. That is weird. But this is just on my phone. So maybe it'll show more on my laptop looking you up. Yeah, it doesn't say that you have any community posts, but this is my new phone. So I've only had it for a few weeks, and it might just be me not knowing how to use my freaking phone. But I'm pretty sure I can see other people's community posts on here. So we'll get that figured out. Oops, I meant SRA. So that is what you were talking about. That was why it was confusing me. I have seen it. The names were crazy. WTF, mod me up and I'll grab you the link. Gladly. Let me do that. I'm surprised that you're not already a mod. There we go. You got your wrench, girl. I mean, boy. I mean, he, she. we don't determine, and it's not because of that stuff. It's just because of your confidentiality, because of idiot trolls. Okay, I'll be right back. Awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe move it to the left on the titles. You can take away my mod after the live. No, I'll leave your mod if you don't mind, my dear. Gladly leave it. So as you can hear, I've got puppy dog barking in the background. I'm gonna have to wrap up. Let me just give you a quick preview while we wait for BoobTube TV to come back with the link. Okay, I wanted to make mention to you about the Trumpster fire, Donnie derangement, and how abandoned he was as a child by both of his parents psychologically. But his mother fell extraordinarily ill when he was 2 years old and was essentially unavailable to him. And I had mistakenly said last week that his mother passed away when he was very young. And I think a lot of people have that impression, and it's incorrect. She did not pass away. she was basically like a dead man walking. She did not pass away until about 25 years ago. I think the year 2000 was when she passed away, and she was around 80. But she became gravely ill when he was 2 years old, and she was pretty much out of the picture. So I don't know if she was bedridden. I don't have any clue what her diagnosis was, if it was like mental illness or alcoholism or some type of cancer that, you know, is just being used as a cover up. I mean, come on. Come on, these heartless freaks. Anyway, so I wanted to mention that. The other thing I wanted to mention about the Gouffre and Prince Andrew, Jeffrey, Sean Combs, and uh, El Disgusto Weinstein, Harvey, is that another person involved who's very central to this, and I'm just giving you a quick little prelude to what's to come. Alan Dershowitz, the lawyer who represented O.J. Simpson, I think. He's done a lot of high profile cases. He also represented Epstein. And I believe that Virginia was about to testify against him in a trial or a deposition or something coming up. I need to check my resources, but I know for sure that she had accused him multiple times of having that she was trafficked to him when she was underage by Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and that Dershowitz denies it categorically. Of course, that's standard. That's what they always do. But he's a viper. He's a Harvard law professor. He thinks he's untouchable. And I am pretty sure that there was an active lawsuit against him, that Virginia had an active lawsuit against him at the time of her passing away. I got to look into that some more. But Alan Dershowitz, also RFK Jr., there's a whole huge mess where he is, not in addition to the sewage that he likes to hang out in. His ex-wife, Mary Kennedy, passed away in 2012 in the midst of a contentious custody battle. She self-unalived, much like Donnie's ex-wife self-unalived almost 3 years ago. Hers was allegedly by accident, whereas RFK Jr.'s ex-wife, Mary, or estranged wife, the ink hadn't dried on the divorce papers yet. But, you know, they're in this custody battle. She self-unalives home alone at a ranch, kind of similar to Virginia Gouffre, but she had 4 kids. She had a lot of issues. You know, I think the main one, this husband, this is going to be killer. And then I just have to wrap up because I got to get going. RFK Jr. claims that he was an abused husband. He claims that Mary beat him. Again, pot calling the kettle black, maybe? Big tough guy who hangs out in sewage with his muscles is getting beat up by his ex-wife. So, you know, she self-undeletes. He gets custody of the kids and he doesn't have to pay alimony. Convenient, huh? So let me read up and then wrap up. Sorry to have to be so brief. And hopefully I'll be able to come on later today. But, you know, it's always a challenge as the day unwinds, and so does my brain. So if not later today, then definitely tomorrow. Try this. I'm going to try it. When you read it later, be sure to read all the comments. It's alarming. Virginia did so much damage to that ring. I respect her greatly. Absolutely. Me too, BT. It's crazy that no one is investigating these sus self-unalivings. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead to this. I won't read all of the comments, but I'll read to people The CHP SAR flight, Kylie Rodney. Someone want to explain this to me? Why did they fly directly over this property and hook an immediate left afterwards? 67 comments. That's mind blowing right there. Oh, I'm looking forward to checking that out. Oh, and it says read more. Let me read the rest of it. Oh, this is long. Okay. Well, I guess that explains why an ignorant truckee heifer came after me and desperately sought my identity when she read an email that didn't even pertain to her. Why did she specifically mention the two nicknames for this property when trying to interrogate one of my subs on my identity? What's the Tahoe garage, the wall, got to do with her? Why did she say that her father told her to stay out of it? Why did she say that the FBI pulled her father over and spoke to him? Wasn't there an offender sweep during the search for Kylie? Is this why the DHS was there too? Department of Homeland Security? Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't have Kristi Noem to show up, huh? Why did she say the FBI will never find her because she hops Wi-Fi networks between Airbnb properties? So I'm sure you're talking about MC Ultra. Why did she admit to aiding in the procurement of escorts for Airbnb renters by giving them phone numbers and that they were on the phone before she could even leave the property? Why did she later recant and claim it was just a joke? That's freaking mind-boggling. Why did she seek to attack many people on the quest for truth regarding the Kylie Rodney case? Why? I love all your questions. Why did she scream at precious Judy and put the fear of God in her shortly before she passed? Why did Judy think she could be unalive for what she thought she knew? She was never the same afterwards. Please ask me for receipts on that. Yeah, I'm not even sure who Judy is, BoobTube. Don't make me post more. Several people have all of my data. Wow. I'm going to go back to my live screen, catch up with you, and then I do have to sign off. Virginia did so much damage. Me too, BT. It's crazy that no one is investigating. Whoops, I said heifer. Is that bad? I don't know why that's bad. No offense to the cows, right? All the way until the cows come home. So thanks so much for being here. I'm sorry that I have to go to my stupid dentist appointment. Look at all the images. You'll see who is supposedly connected to. Oh, there's more than just the one image. Okay, great. And then everybody's got that in the chat here. And yeah, I will check that out later. So thanks so much for being here, you guys. Eat your veggies, drink your water, get some sunshine and fresh air. Make sure you take good care of yourself and just breathe. Just be, right? Sometimes that's the hardest thing to remember. Breathe. All right. Love and light. See you soon. Thanks a million. You guys are the bomb.